Hello and welcome to Viper Strategies, where we put roulette strategies to the ultimate test. This is not a simulator app. We are using a custom built software to back test strategies against real casino spin data. That means real outcomes, real risk analysis, and real world results. This is more than just content. It's a passion project. After years of getting beat up from the casinos, we decided it was time to fight and strike back. So on this channel, we fine tune strategies, run deep performance analysis, and stress test across multiple sessions against thousands of spins to see if they really have true profit potential. Because around here, we always test before we invest. Hey guys, welcome back to another Viper Strategies testing video. Today we got a pretty exciting one. We did add a few more features. I do apologize. Just want to say we've been super busy. It's been a few days since I posted a video, but I'm gonna go ahead and post a video on the 00 wheel. That's what we just newly implemented. And so I'm going to get into that, but I just want to say that we are working diligently. The inner circle members, the private members, are helping with the back testing, helping with debugging. The professor and I were fixing a lot of things with the software to make this thing run smooth. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the screen right here. I'm going to show you what we added. So up here in the config button, we have the ability. Actually, let me close this out and show you the table. Okay, so right now you can see we're on a single zero European wheel, right? A lot of you guys asked and requested for this, and some people don't have the ability to play single zero, so they want to see some testing done on an American 00 wheel. So I thought it was cool to add this. We did have it previously added. That was before we decided to make this available for everyone. So we reduced it down to just a single zero because we typically have the choice to play either single or 00 because we play online. So since then, this has blossomed into something very cool that we're sharing. And I know a lot of you guys want the American 00 wheel and want some testing done on that. So he went back and he added that. So there's a few more other features I'm going to go over, but I'm going to show you what this does. So configuration, you pull it up. I could toggle this to European or American wheel. So when I toggle it, close out, you could see it changed to 00. Oops, okay, there we go. See, now it's 00. Okay. So let's go ahead. The test we're going to be running today is we want to see, we all know the house advantage, right? So if you don't know, on a 00 American wheel, it has 38 numbers. That one extra is 00. So that gives the house edge of 5.26% advantage. Okay. So if you do have the option, it would obviously be better to get more bang for your buck because the payouts are exactly the same. So on a single zero, you have one less number. You have the 37 numbers coverage, and the house edge is only 2.7%. Okay, so that's a big difference. It's almost double. So if you do have the option, obviously get more bang for your buck and play the single zero. Some people don't have the option. That's why I'm going to show some testing with the 00 today. We're going to do a comparison. I'm going to keep track of all the stats, and at the end of the video, we're going to review and we're going to see how much of a difference it's going to make. We're going to use the same strategy, so we could give it a fair comparison. Okay, so let's just switch this over to European first. All right, and then let me go ahead and start a session. I accidentally closed that one out. And the starting balance, we're going to keep it simple with the $1,000 bankroll. Unit size is going to be $1. And then let's go to our strategy manager and let's see Viper. Let's play this. So we have to adjust the strategies to compensate for the 00. So this Viper Street Slayer Tornado is what we're going to run today. This is a new strategy that we just implemented. So I'm kind of curious to see how it plays out. So we're going to activate this. And you can see right here under this drop down arrow, we're going to be able to pick out, you can see it's also in the 00 American wheel. Well, the data sets are going to be different, obviously, because the data sets collected from the single zero are going to be different from the 00. So we're going to do 3 tests with the single zero and then collect the data on that. And then we're going to do 3 tests of 100 spins as well. on the double zero, and then we're going to compare, see if it's a huge difference. I know law of averages, at the end of the day, that house edge will balance out. But we typically, nobody really plays that long, right? So we're trying to get up, get in, win, cash out, and leave. Okay, so we're gonna shoot for 100 spin test. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm gonna show you this once the testing starts. This right here, it says visuals off. When I click it, it says visuals on. All that means is this visualization board right here. Okay, that means that if I have it off, it's not gonna show the bet placement. So what it's going to do is that's going to kick it into what we call turbo mode. So I'm going to show you with the visuals on at first, and I'm going to show you it's betting the place. It's betting accordingly to the strategy we're playing. But when I click it off, it's going to speed through the test a lot quicker. So that's a nice other feature he implemented. So let's go ahead and start this, and we'll start with visuals on. And we have, I think we're all set up. Let me double check. We got that activated and file uploaded. Yep, start. Okay. So let's see. So we are doing data sets with single zero numbers. Okay, so I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm actually going to just pause it right here. Right here, I just paused it. Another cool feature that was implemented is if you go down here, he added the name of the strategy we're running. You hover over it, turns green, click on it, and it gives you midway, like a progress report on where it's at. So you can see all the bet placements, what step they're on, because remember, they're all going to run different progressions in each of the steps or bet placements. Sorry. So right now, currently at $19 in profit. We got the max set at 20 progressions. You can see the win-loss right now. We only got 9 wins to 87. That 87 seems high. You're like, we didn't run 87 spins. Well, it's counting all the misses on those streets that have not hit yet. So it's kind of like a midway progress report, something cool to add. So let's go ahead and close that out. And right now, I am going to minimize this. You can see the bet placements. These are getting kind of high in the progression already. And so I'm going to unpause right now. And then if you look up here, visuals on. If I click it off, look how quick it goes now. Now it's spinning through the data very quick. This one's dipping down kind of low. And remember, this is set up to reset in a new session profit. And we are at spin 40. And we are in the minus right now. Let's see if it could come back. Still in the minus. Okay, boom. Big jump right there. New session profit highs at plus $347. We're in about spin 70. And let's see where this one finishes up. Again, we're going to run 3 of these tests, right? So then we're going to average out, the wins, the losses, the everything. See how much it makes. Okay, so we're almost at 100. All right, 100 spins, and we ended on a win. That's good news. And we actually ended on a high. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the video right here. I'm going to stop this session. I'm going to record this data in a sheet, which I'm going to review at the end. And I'll be back for the second test. Okay, so we are in test number 2. Again, this is going to be single zero data sets. We're running the same strategy, right? The Street Slayer Tornado. This is a new one we just implemented, okay? Some of you might be curious, how is it working? So if I'm going to just pull up the configurations to kind of explain a few things so you guys could understand what it's actually doing, okay? So let me just pull it down a little bit so I could show you number of streets. So the original version of Street Slayer on the previous channel, it was just a long single progression on one single street. So now we have the ability to toggle on and off how many streets we want to cover. I'm shooting just here in the middle. These are just pretty much default settings. And then progression step back level, that's basically once you get at a certain level in the progression, where do you want it to step back? And then once it hits 20, I want it to jump back 5 just to kind of play it safe. And then the progressions, this could start right away. I have it set at 2, meaning 2 consecutive losses. then it goes to the next level in the progression. Some other ones to highlight is okay, so the progression type, we're going with the original Street Slayer progression on this one. And we do have plenty options down here. You could see, I'm going to highlight it. This is the original Street Slayer progression. Okay, and it's actually 36 steps long. I'm kind of keeping it, I'm putting a governor on it, so I'm stopping that at 20. Once you hit 20, I think that bet's about 33 bucks. It's either 33 or 29. So that's just like a little governor. You could obviously let it run through all levels of progression depending on your risk reward tolerance. Okay. And then you can see all these other ones. We got a bunch you could choose from, and we still have that custom progression. You could go ahead and put your own custom progression if you want to just nerd out, figure out the math, and come up with your own customized progression. So yeah, pretty standard configurations for this type of strategy. So on this next test, I'm going to keep the visuals off, and I'm just going to speed right through it. Okay. So we got a different data set. And let's see how this one does. Let's go ahead and start the session. So you can see the visualizations off. You're not seeing the bet chip placement. And we got 2 zeros right off the bat. Remember, this is single zero. Look, another one came up. Look at the top of the screen. That's 3 and 4. 4 just came up, and we are in the minus right now. 5 came up. That's pretty unnatural for a single zero wheel. But hey, let's see if it could come back. And it is coming back. So we dropped pretty deep in the bankroll, but we did not bust. And we are at spin 55. Let's see where this one ends up. That's interesting. And that could happen. Like the other day I was playing and I got back to back to back. I got 3 consecutive zeros and I play a single zero. We're at spin 80. We're in the minus. Come on. Is it going to come back? We're at spin 89. Another zero came up. Pause right here. Okay, so this one was a rough one. This one, minus 397 is where we ended. We peaked out at plus 190. We pretty much floated in the negative this whole time. We didn't bust the bankroll, which is something to take note of. But let's go ahead and stop this session. And look right here. The session low, we dipped pretty low. So this is what's great about configurations. Like I'm just kind of playing a guessing game right now, playing with the configurations. I haven't fine-tuned this yet. So I'm just setting these to where I think will potentially do good. This one, we could have stopped when it was in the high. I was kind of hoping it would come back. It did not come back. Session low, we dipped down 341. So we used what, about $660 in profit. I'm going to stop the video right here. I'm going to log this data and then I'll be back for the next test. Okay, so we are in the third and final test of this first phase. We're doing the single zero data sets. I got a new data set to run. That last one didn't perform as well as the first one. Again, configurations do matter, right? So we're going to activate this one. I'm going to keep the configurations in. Maybe that was just like a super bad run, which we did see a ton of zeros came out. So even though you're playing a single zero, doesn't mean that's not going to be coming out often, okay? So that's always something to keep in mind. Configurations, you can literally make this strategy as risk tolerant as you wish. You can make it where maybe you're running lower streets. You could do that slow grinder type of style of play. You can go higher coverage with this. It's really just fine tuning these configurations to your liking and seeing what works best for your type of play. You know, some people like to play a little bit low risk. I could set these where it's super conservative, but I'm going to keep the configurations the same for this test, and let's see how this one runs. Okay, same configurations, same strategy, different data set. This is test number 3. So let's save that. We got this activated. Let's go ahead and minimize this. Visuals off so we can run through this test and start. So this is going to be another 100 spins. And then let's see how this one does. And then we'll jump into the double zero test, which I'm kind of curious. I really am curious. I know law of averages say that, you know, over time, it's gonna The house edge will catch up, right? But I'm curious because we're playing in these kind of mock sessions. So I think in the short run, it might pan out fairly well. All right, so this one is doing a little bit better. It's been up 291, 304 new session high. We're about spin 70 at this point. We peaked out at 332 plus in profit, spin 80. So this one is doing a little bit better, a lot better actually than the previous one. So let's see where we end up on this one. Almost at 100. Okay, right there at 100. So significantly better than the last test. Almost makes me want to do a total of 5, but let's go ahead and keep it right here. And let's stop this and I will collect the data. We'll be right back. Okay, so we are in the second phase of today's testing video. All 3 have been logged already for the single zero data. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you visually real quick. We are going to change the table. Okay, we are the data sets, just so you guys know too, it's all real live data sets, spin data from live casinos, live dealers with a real roulette table. Okay, so we're gonna toggle this onto the American wheel, and you can see down here, I'm gonna close this out. Why isn't it closing out? Oh, okay, it's making me restart a session again. Okay, that's something we should fix. No big deal. Let's go ahead and restart. And we are going to do the same bankroll starting at 1,000. Unit size is going to be $1. Everything's going to be the same. Again, the only thing that's changing and what we're really testing is there going to be a big difference from playing a single zero to a double zero? More importantly, can we still make good profit on a double zero American wheel? Okay, so the data set's going to be different. You're going to see some, if they come up, double zeros and single zeros coming out. Okay. So I will go ahead and keep the visuals on for this. That way you can see it. The numbers obviously come up here, so keep an eye up there. And strategy manager, let me make sure I activate this. Actually, I got to go to this drop down arrow, hit the double zero because they're programmed differently in the sorry, I just blanked it. The software. Spit it out, Daniel. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna activate this double zero. Let's check out these configurations. Okay, let's keep the configurations the same. We are, I think, yep, progression. All the configurations look the same. Let me just double check them. Yes, we're doing Street Slayer progression type. Okay. All right, save, we're good there. So let's go ahead and minimize this. I'm going to keep the visuals on right now so we can see what kind of numbers come out. Okay, so this is going to be test number 1 with the double zero American data. Let's see how this one pans out. So far, so good. But also, so far, no zeros have came out. Again, we're going to do 100 spins, 3 more tests on the double zero American data sets. Okay, so big profit there. No zeros yet. And yeah, with that one that we ran, that second test on the single zero, what was it, like 4 or 5 came out within like 20 numbers. Okay, we got our first zero. It's a double zero. Okay, so data sets are coming out correct. Got the double zeros. Let's see if we get a single zero in there. We are making some profit, some good gains right now. Right now we are at spin. I know this is slower. It's because I have the visuals on, so it shows the different bet placements. And when it's betting, remember, I have it set up in the configurations to wait a certain amount before it starts increasing, and it also changes the bets once the bets hit a certain progression. There's a lot of stuff going on the back end of this strategy. This is a more advanced strategy. So there's a lot of calculations. Okay, so we got a zero came up. So we did get a double zero and we did get a single zero. We are at spin 86 and we're currently in the minus. Let's speed this. Well, we'll just wait it out. Let's see if it comes back. We're at spin 90. We're going to need a good hit soon. Okay, we have to stop it right here. That was spin 100. Okay, so you could see I stopped it right there, and we have a few of these that are high in the progression. Look, we got one that's 26, 29, and 20. Those are high single number or single street bets. So those would have to hit soon in order to boost us back up into profit. So we ended at 100 and we ended in the minus. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this test, and I'll be back for the next test, and we'll see how that one does. Okay, so we are in test number 2, new data set. This one I'm going to go ahead and activate. Again, 00 data set. I'm going to keep the visuals off for this one just so we can speed through the test. So let's go ahead and start it. And also something to keep in mind. So we have the option in the configuration menu to put virtual losses on, right? So that's something to keep in consideration because these are straight up single bets. And we're super low on this one. This one might bust. Looks like it's coming back though. It did come back. Kind of dipped low right there for a second. But yeah, the virtual misses basically track. So like if you're putting single street bets up, you really want to set that at that miss count high. Maybe set at 15, 20 misses before it puts a bet on there. Because that, single streets can sleep for a while. So that's something to keep in mind. So we are almost at 100 spins. I am going to stop right here. All right, so you can see we did start off pretty bad, and you can see up here at the top we got the 0, we got a single 0, double 0, 0, double 0. So I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna log this. This one didn't do hot, but we did end up in a profit. So I'm gonna log this data, and I'll be in with the last test. All right, we are in the third and final test. Running the 00 data sets. Will this perform better than the previous two? We're going to find out. So let's run it. I'm going to keep the visuals off. That way we can just speed through this test. So let's go ahead and start it. You're up here at the top. You'll still see the numbers being spat out. So right now we got a 0 that popped up there. You can see currently in the minus right now. We did bounce back up into a new session high. Is at 186. We're at spin 25. So let's see, and we got a 00 right there. That one came in. I should have been counting. I wonder how much impact that really has. Okay, that's our third green number that came in. And we are at spin 60. New session highs at 392. 341 is new session high. We've had 3 green numbers so far. We have about 15 spins left. And we are almost at 100 spins, and we stop here. Okay, let's check out our stats. Again, I'm going to just pause for a second, log it, and then we're going to review at the end. Okay, got the numbers, crunched the numbers, got the averages. Let's review what happened today. Okay, so we're going to look at this first. This is the Viper Street Slayer Tornado single 0 data sets. All right, so first test number 1, we ended up in a profit of $485. We had that test number 2 that we ended it in the minus, that 397. And then the third test, we were up 376. So you can see what the ROIs are. 49% return on investment from starting Bankroll. This one dipped down minus 40. This one 38%. And session high, that's something to keep note as well. So it did peak out. This first test ended on a session high. With this type of strategy, you do want to check out at the right time. I think that's pretty significant too. As many of you guys know, nobody's going to sit there play exactly a spin count like 100 and check out. This is something I like to highlight as well. This is the max down draw. This is how much bankroll are you using to gain that profit, right? That risk. So the lowest we dip down here, that second test, is we dipped down minus 659, and it started coming back, but again we gave it that even 100 spins. Who knows, it may have came back. So looking down here at the single, let me just highlight this row for you, the single zero averages. So the stopping point, again, this is, I don't know how important this number is because nobody really stops at that spin count, but it's 155. And then you could see it's on average between those. I know it's a small testing sample, only 3 different sessions, but we did end up with a net gain, taking out that one that we dropped at, of 16% ROI. Our session high average right here is 397, and our max drawdown, the average bankroll we used per session, is minus 412. That's how much we used. Okay, so going over the numbers in the second data set with the double zeros, we had that first one ended at minus 49. And this percentage is wrong. This should be 5%. I'm gonna fix that. I guess I don't really need to fix it. I just tell you it's 5%. So we went minus 5%. Ending balance where we were in the negative. Keep note right here. This is a good one. We did peak out at $385 in profit. Again, that was the session high. And then you could see that the next two we ended on wins. And just to highlight these right here, this second test, even though we ended on a win, this one, I remember that was floating in the negative quite some time before it started working its way back. Again, configurations can be played around with. I'll admit I'm just kind of playing around with them and trying to figure out which combination works the best. But that combination that works the best for me might not be the best combination for thee. Meaning, I might like a more aggressive approach, a more conservative approach, and you might like something in between. So those configurations are very, very important because you can really not skews the right word. What's the word I'm looking for? You can really mold one specific strategy in so many different ways as far as your risk tolerance. You know what I mean? So looking here at this last column, the double zero average. So we did end up a little bit higher on average at the ending point than the single double. Right here, we did have, we averaged 9% return in on our investment from our starting bankroll. Session high was a bit higher as well, not by much, but a little higher. And then we did use slightly more bankroll. This is that max drawdown. We used slightly more bankroll to make some profit. So overall, looking at it, I don't see a huge difference. Again, I didn't expect too much of a difference because we are like kind of mocking smaller sessions. So I can see like, okay, maybe over like 1,000, 2,000 spins, this would highlight some more differences. Just to note, I believe it was the second test. I think on the single zero data set, I'm pretty sure it's this one. That's when I was counting, what was it, like 4 or 5 within 20 spins that zero or double zero came up. Or no, I'm sorry, excuse me. That zero came up because we're using single zero data sets. So you're thinking double zero, more zeros are going to come up. Not always the case, right? You know, and I mentioned while I was doing that run, you know, I just played the other night, seen 3 in a row. So it's like, you know, it's the chances of it happening, not very often, but it can happen. So always keep that in mind. But it was just an interesting test. I wanted to see results. This is a new strategy. I haven't played with the configurations a ton. So I'm going to play with the configurations. And I think I'm going to do another follow-up test on this one. And I'm going to try to gear it in 3 phases. I'm thinking, well, let me know how you guys want me to run it too. If you guys have any ideas or input, I could configure it down where it's very slow, grindy style, high coverage, and low risk. You know, there's a trade-off though. It might not produce as much profit. And then I want to jump on the other extreme. Okay, let's get a little aggressive with it. fine tune how many streets we're putting, what the bet progression is going to be. Maybe we could try a turtle progression. Maybe we could do a custom progression and make it go up by 2 units, however we want to design that. And then after that, we could compare it and try to maybe find like a happy medium, something where it has a nice little trade off. Because like you guys know, high risk strategies, high reward, but again, that high risk, you could bust your bankrolls pretty quick. So it's always nice to have the configurations option. That way you could fine tune these strategies to your liking. You don't just go plug and play just one specific strategy. Obviously could adjust a bunch of stuff, not just configuration, but your bankroll size. That way you have a nice stop loss. You could also do unit sizes. I know some people have the option to play 10 cent unit sizes. I wish I had that option. The lowest I can go for the casino I can play on is only 50 cent units, but I could play a lot of these strategies with 50 cents comfortably. So not a huge deal, but again, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you want me to run a specific strategy, or you have a new testing idea, I am open. Now that we have that 00 American Will implemented into the software, we could get some more testing done on that. So if you have a test in mind, let me know. And like always, guys, till next time, be cool, stay cool, peace.